are tied at 1-1. Montreal put their spotless 6-0 record following a loss to the playoffs on the line tonight as they host the Carolina Hurricanes for Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Final. Coming up next on Hobbs Hockey on TSN 690. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Hobbs Hockey on TSN 690. Victor Finley alongside JP O'Connor in his conference final hockey back inside a sold-out Bell Center for the first time since 2014. JP, as I mentioned in the intro, we find ourselves in the exact same position as we did in Series 1 and 2. It's 1-1 after the road games for the Montreal Canadiens who come home trying to put themselves back in front in this series.
You know, after the game, you heard Rod Brindamore talk about his team in Carolina and saying he had all the faith in the world that that team would bounce back. That's exactly what happened for the Canes. The question tonight is, will Marty St. Louis' team be able to put that clunker that they played in Game 2 behind us? They took it to overtime, but was not the result that they were looking for, was not the performance that the Canadians were looking for. Will they be able to bring it back here to the Bell Center tonight and take the lead in the series?
JP, it feels like a long time ago, probably because it was a long time ago by playoff standards, but the last home game here was not exactly one full of happy memories for the Canadians and their fans. That was Game 6 against Buffalo.
No, not at all. That was a bit of a head scratcher, but the Canadians were able to bounce back from that. Listen, we're in Game 37 in the playoffs, in the playoff run here. It just continues to intensify, but you have to have a short memory. The Canadians.
Even and one game apiece, and we're expecting a whole lot in terms of lineup changes tonight, although there will be one for the Canadians. That Oliver Kapanen out, Joe Milano back in.
Yeah, Kapanen comes out, just wasn't able to get it over the line for the Canadians on that fourth line. Joe Milano we know exactly what he brings back into the lineup. There'll be a defensive presence, there'll be a grit, there'll be some pace that is added to the Canadians lineup as they look to take the lead in the series.
That will be the only lineup change we anticipate tonight for the Canadians. Things look exactly the same for Carolina as they have in games 1 and 2 of this series. So for them, it'll be Gasperi Kotkaniemi with Nick Delorier and Mike Riley all on the sideline today. Ironically, all three of them former Montreal Canadiens. Well, we would not be in this situation tonight if it weren't for an overtime Game 7 winner from Alex Newhook against Buffalo. And the Canadians in '86 would have seen their season end early had it not been for a Game 7 overtime winner from Claude Lemieux. And it will be Claude Lemieux who carries the torch out through the concourse all the way into Bell Center tonight. You will hear this crowd take over as Lemieux brings the torch.
Hi, Flipside. How are you doing tonight? What game are you doing on Sega? You're here? Right on. Well, thank you for stopping in. Thank you for stopping in. So, I guess this means you didn't lose power. Storm wasn't too bad. How was the storm? Started to play Altered Beast, but then I started talking to Isaac, and now I'm setting up this automatic cat feeder. Oh yeah, I remember the one from Amazon, right? Yeah, I saw his post. He's gonna try and do Sundays, I think is what he said. No nasty storm kept the power though. Well, that's good. Best it could be, I guess.
Since we've been able to gather quite like this for an Eastern Conference final game involving the Montreal Canadiens at the Bell Center. And boy, what a great feeling it is to have it back here in Montreal. Hawks are 3 wins away from the appearance in the Stanley Cup final, looking to get one step closer tonight. Hand it off here in a moment to PA announcer Michelle Lacroix to tee you off for the Canadian and American national anthems.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for stopping in for Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Montreal Canadiens and the Carolina Hurricanes.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise with your hats and caps for the national anthems performed by Camille Cormier-Moss, Sarah Justine, Émilie Damour, along with Eleonora Lagacé, and a joint passed by the Canadian Armed Forces Snowbirds.
Title screens are probably going to play for a while I do this cat feeder. It's automatic technology or AI technology. Track when your cat has no food. l'épopée des plus brillants espoirs.
The Carolina Hurricanes.
Good evening, everyone. We are back.
The Great Dane going for the Carolina Hurricanes again. He made 10 saves on 12 shots in the 3-2 overtime win in Game 2. He did have a game this year where he only had to make 9 saves on 10 shots in a 5-1 win versus Columbus. That was late in the regular season. And Yakubovich, who in the playoffs for Montreal has been immaculate. After a loss, he's 6-0 with a 1.77 goals against average and a 9.42 save percentage.
There you go. After a loss, Dobesh for the Canadians is 6-0 with a 1.77 and a 9.67. Here we go. Live from Montreal, Quebec. It is the Montreal Canadiens versus the Carolina Hurricanes. Game. Oh, darn it. I just realized something.
Far side battle, Lane Hudson up there with William Carrier on Carolina, who muscles the puck away. All the way to the near side it goes. Picked off by Gooley, played to center. Robinson chips it back in. So Rod Brendamore going with his fourth line to start this game. They were good in Game 2.
They were excellent. Had a couple of goals as well that started that game. Starts this game off exactly how they want to. It's a physical play.
Habs under pressure in their own zone. They'll play it to center. It's cut off by Carolina and flung back in over the Montreal net. Jordan Martin hunting it down in the forecheck. Canadians played up the near side, can't get it out. Chatfield with a shot. That one hit the outside of the net. Back to the line. Ehlers finds the mark. Slavin looking in front for Chatfield. That got away. And Gooley carries to center. He'll just throw it in. And back in behind for Freddie Anderson. Played it around Sebastian Aho on the far wing. On the way up to center. Here's Chatfield crossing the Montreal line. Off the Ehlers. Cross ice